All right, so we are here. Oh, wait, no, not here yet. I need to run the recording. All right, so it's recording. We are on this slide here, and we would like to quickly explore why working remotely is so difficult. We will experiment with this format of drawing together while we are talking about this topic. I'll just set up the scene with the first step, a kind of a provocation of the topic by saying that I think that it has something to do with the amount of signal we're getting. So let's say this is you here, and of course, like you have a full body, but just like an icon, this is you. And usually what you have is that you have your colleagues around the table and you can definitely see them. You have a whiteboard somewhere in the background, or TV on TV pieces or something like that. You have like 360 view. You have the 360 sound, because you can understand whether a person talking is behind you or not. So it's like a rich experience of the reality. And then suddenly, like, you are put sitting next to a monitor. You are probably using not the best in the world headphones, so everything is degraded. So your field of view is degraded, the quality of sound is degraded, and that monitor can only show so much, right? You just see a few pictures of people. You have to switch between different, you could say, layers, like look into the presentation and maybe check an email. So it's like a small space, and it's not allowing you to see all the facts. And normally you would organize everything around the walls. So I think it's a good starting point. So suddenly you compressed everything into smaller space, and the quality of signal dramatically degraded. It has to do something with this. What do you say?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just adding here, it's like a mask. Like when we only get these constricted signals that you're talking about, um, when we only sort of see the head and shoulders of everyone else, the social cue that sends is like, oh, well, then that's all I'm going to give away. I'm just going to show my head and shoulders. And it's like a digital mask, you know? And you're right, like there's, like if I can sort of add, like there's a whole kind of invisible world sitting behind you, and anyone who's uh, on a video conference call. You know, all the sort of things that make you you. You know, like it could be cats. It could be like your favorite books on the bookshelf. I mean, this is very very scrappy, but you get the idea. All the things that maybe when you're meeting face to face and there's more familiarity, there's more social cues, you feel a bit freer to bring more of yourself to the meeting. For online meetings, it's like we don't get that. We don't get to see that. We don't get to share that. Or uh, the social cues aren't there to say, hey, it's okay to share that. Yeah.
Mm. And I think I'm just screwing up the word Q. I think it's C something.
Oh,
something.
yes.
Like this, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. And that's not something we can control, right? So the technology is not there yet to do something with the degraded signal. So we cannot expand the field of view unless we all start using VR, which is not possible today. It's not in every house and every home. We cannot get access to a better technology, hearing each other. How do we deal with this?
Yeah. Do you remember that? Remember that website, Second Life? It's going to write. Second Life was like this virtual world, and back when it started, there was a whole lot of people kind of coming in, creating accounts, and you could walk around and I think make houses and buildings and visit each other's buildings. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's almost like we need something like that again with updated technology.
So you can build some kind of an environment. Actually, I have seen a tool on LinkedIn somewhere where people were sharing that you can create a virtual office and even place yourself somewhere, saying like, I'm in this meeting room at the moment, and that will be a reflection of your actual office. Have you heard about that?
No.
I don't know how it works, but it's a simulation of the real space. But I don't know if that is integrated with your video conferencing, or is that just...
Well, on that, if I can riff off that, if we're all digital, like, why should digital mimic the real? Digital means we can do, more unreal things, and we've sort of seen it with, like we can do fancy Zoom backgrounds, right? So here's you with your is your microphone. And like you've got this fancy Zoom background. Like this is, I think, for me, just scratching the surface of how we can really jazz up the environment in a way that physical reality can't do. And you see it in those sort of filters that our kids use on those apps that I know nothing about. Right? You do like I can draw you with big glasses. Is Yuri with your glasses? Big Kanye West glasses. There we go. Gangster Yuri.
And or a potato me.
Yeah, that's right. Those ones, and they're funny, and the humour's great. Like we need that in meetings. Like for me, one of the distinctive things about humans is we laugh. That's it. So and that's only scratching the surface of how we can kind of digitally augment, I think, what we're doing online.
So that leads us to humor element, which you suggested earlier in the podcast conversation as well. So an unexpected insight. Why should we try so hard and mimic, which will be difficult? Why don't we embrace the extra possibilities that digital brings?
Yes.
And then try to find how can we bring more humor and more what you call yourself into it. And those filters, those profile picture augmenting filters, it's fine. But what else? How can we bring more human? Sorry, not human, humor.
Humor and human. Maybe it's no coincidence that the words sound the same. What if we could do like a little visual game where like people upload a photo of themselves, or maybe just grab the avatar. If software has a way to sort of put the avatar in place, and then we all kind of just draw over the top of that. So here's you. Here's Pegasus Yuri. Hooray!
Yeah, and it's easy to organize, right?
Right.
Make a snapshot of a screen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's just sort of a fun game. Gets people drawing, gets people laughing, gets people being more creative.
Yeah, love it.
That looks a bit rude now. I'm just going to write not rude. Yes. There you go. There's Pegasus U. Yeah. Because I think, and as you probably know, like people are more creative when they get to play in a safe way. And let's face it, we've been playing with digital for years, and a lot of great, things about digital come out of just people playing, just people mucking around with the Lego, like the digital Lego blocks, if you like, of what digital can do. Like that's how these sort of filters on top of photos and smartphones came about. So if we can find more ways to, I think, play together online, I think that has certainly helped. And even if, like, it doesn't have to be drawing, it can be card games, like virtual card games are fun. Like there's an online game called Remote Insensitivity. It's, I'll write here, Remote Insensitivity. It's kind of based on the real life game Cards Against Humanity. But it's just
I know
it's
that
like
one.
a quick game you can play online. Again, you've got to keep
it's online.
work.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
Can I write? It's on. It's going to write up here.
Yeah.
I think you can find it playingcards.io.
Now that you mentioned this game, there is another one called, I think it's called Scriblio.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like this one. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to check that out. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, so it's a really good one. Basically, people draw and the rest have to guess what is drawn. And you're given the cues, the prompt words, and there is no algorithm behind it because basically, as long as they write the same word that was prompted, then it's like a hit, right? So there is like, it's not similar to that Google game that guesses what you're drawing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's plain stupid simple, but you can draw there and it comes up with the prompt words. It's something you could use as an icebreaker for your remote session.
I like that. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah. But this is what we're doing right now, two of us. It's basically playing together next to the virtual whiteboard, and I enjoy it.
I could do this all day.
Yeah, I really need to get used to some of its dynamics, but it's definitely a fun way to spend time and geek out about the topic, just discussing it visually. I mean, we spent 10 minutes and came up with a rich picture of a conversation that I will definitely remember.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I think that the highlights for me is this idea of like we need to, I think, be more intentional about adding in more notes of humour and interactivity into digital meetings, into our online meetings. Like we can't just assume that's going to happen. I think we've got to be more intentional about bringing that in. And the other one is, not being afraid to have fun.